When Michael Dunn and Jordan Davis crossed paths, things would never be the same.
Oh my God, somebody's shooting. Somebody's shooting out their car.
Or else I said, hey, would you guys mind turning that down? And so quicker in the flash, I had a round chambered in it, and I shot.
That when that defendant pointed that pistol at the car full of unarmed teenagers.
The Loud Music Killer documentary, out now. What's happening, ladies? I hope you're all well. So, I hope you're nice and relaxed, and let's get started with this video. So what have I learned since making videos for women? I have learned actually quite a bit. So obviously, for those that don't know, obviously this is a channel giving advice to women and addressing women's issues. I also have channels where I address men's issues. And when talking about the stuff for men, because I think that men have their faults, but I also think women have their faults as well. We're all human beings and we're all flawed fundamentally as human beings. So the way that I criticized women, I can actually see now in retrospect how that would have had a negative, that would have sparked a negative reaction in female viewers. And the way that I said things perhaps wasn't the best. I'm always looking to improve myself. Now, don't get it twisted. Sometimes we're going to have to say things and people aren't always going to like what you have to say. And sometimes it's the truth and sometimes it has to be said. Sometimes you should hold back on the truth. Not because you're being deceptive, but because you got to be mindful of how people feel. And then there are also times where for the greater good, you have to sort of forfeit that and risk upsetting people for the greater good. So you kind of have to weigh those up and come to your own surmise about the best way to operate in a certain situation. But sort of to conclude my point, I think that the way that I made my points when giving men advice about women could be taken the wrong way and could have been seen as me hating on women, which I don't. I have women in my family who I love very much. I have women that I talk to in my life. And I actually think for men, something that I've actually said to men is, because a lot of men are frustrated and fed up with intergender sexual dynamics, let's put it that way. And a lot of men are walking away from the table. And my advice to those men, I actually stated in one of my videos, is don't do it. Like, don't cut all women out of your life, because women make up, over half of the world. And, we are sexual beings and we're social beings. So to completely cut women out of your life overall is not going to be a benefit to you, in my opinion. And I have said that, but the way that I was sort of explaining my points and the way that I was criticizing some of the things that women do could have come across as me hating on women, which I don't, and I never did. And I've learned, and this is an obvious one, women are human beings as well. That's obvious. I knew that before, but it sort of builds on the last point. There are ways to say things that, you still might hurt someone's feelings, but there are ways to say things that ultimately, maybe a bit more diplomatic. So those are things that I have learned since making videos for women. it made me reflect upon the way that I make videos for men criticizing women. And don't get it twisted, I'm still going to make videos criticizing certain aspects of the way a lot of women behave today in Western society. I'm still going to do it because I believe it's true, but the way that I do it, sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I think that's something that I've really come to realize as I head into my 30s. But yeah, I think that, and don't get it twisted, I do think there are a lot of things that a lot of women do in Western society in the 21st century that is to the detriment of women and men, in my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, then you're welcome to think that. And I think that if women did behave in a different way, that there would be a different sentiment amongst men in Western society. And I'm not talking about, being men's slaves or anything like that. I don't co-sign that. I'm just saying that I think that there are certain fundamental things that are happening in Western society on the female side that could be better. And I still believe that, but my delivery is more thoughtful now. Also, I've developed my speaking tool set, because when you're addressing men, you do have to deliver your message a little bit differently. You definitely deliver your message a little bit differently when you're talking to men. As opposed to when you're talking to women, you will deliver your message differently as well. So the delivery, I've developed more versatility in my speaking delivery, and I believe that speaking skills is really underrated these days. Someone who is quite successful actually said that if you're not a good speaker, then you're costing yourself a fortune. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the best speaker, but actually, since starting YouTube, when I look at how I was speaking, and my delivery and the way that I was making my points compared to now, I believe that, although not perfect, the way that I make my points, my delivery, my clarity is a lot better. So I believe that developing more versatility in your speaking skills is key, because again, it might not be what you're saying, but how you say it. There are people who might be polishing a turd with regards to the content of what they're saying, but because their delivery and the way, and they're good at speaking, it means that they're attracting an audience, whereas someone might be making great points, but the way they're making those points isn't great. But overall, I'd say that what have I learned? Speaking, making videos, advising women, I would say that I've learned that, you shouldn't necessarily, it made me think about the way that I was criticizing women in the past. And while I still agree with a lot of the points that I was making, it's the way that I was making them that could be interpreted the wrong way. It could come across as, that I hate women, which I don't. And I was listening to those older videos and I was thinking, wow, some of the points I'm making are true, but the way that I'm making it is pretty crazy. When I was a younger man. Also, I've learned that, I've developed more versatility in my speaking tool set, because the way that you address men and the way that you address women are different, because the way that men's brains interpret things is different to the way women's brains interpret things. And it's been pretty interesting. Yeah, I think those are the main 2 points. And I'm hoping to continue to learn more as my journey in life continues. So, if we're learning, we're only going to get better. So those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts on this video? Let me know. If you support this channel, then leave a donation. The link for that is in the description. If you want to hear a more concise version of this video, then click on the link in the description. And with that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. And I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.